What's up? Back on the roof.
Back on the roof, man. Nice.
Urbanamp.
It's Niijii here. It's January 31st, 2018.
It is a clear, sunny day. Pretty warm today.
Yeah, it's pretty warm. I was actually just thinking about that. Like, when do they decide to spray? I mean, like,
that's a good, yeah.
No, I'm just saying, because air traffic doesn't stop, you know what I mean? Like, it ain't like, okay, well, there's no more air traffic, so there's no more contrails, and like that can't, you know what I mean?
Well, that's funny is
like, there's just more traffic.
Oh, wait. Are you saying, like, another sort of logical argument for, like, the existence of chemtrails is that, well, planes don't stop going, so where are the trails if they're so normal?
Right.
That's a good one, too. That's good. Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah. Have you heard about how the same people, who are sort of like the public, spokespersons for geoengineering, is it, I think David Keith is one of them, right? How they're saying how now that they've begun, because it's official, they don't deny it. They totally say it now. It's official. It's just most people don't pay attention to anything, so they still think it's like some conspiracy theory. But they've already come out and said it.
Yeah, they said it.
Stratospheric aerosol injection. Anyway, so like, but now he's saying, now that we've started, we can't stop. I think that's like funny because it's like, and I was saying that if they were to, because they're cooling by doing the solar radiation every day, it's actually, if they were to stop suddenly, it would result in sort of sudden warming, because the Earth overall is getting less cooling every day. Yeah, I think that's really funny. It's like, okay, so now we have to. So then now we have a clear day and it's like
Pandora's box,
extra warm. Good winter day in January.
Yeah, like really, you can wear tank top and flip flops and shorts like right now.
Yeah, totally.
Literally. Oh man. Sorry, eating right now.
Yeah, that's funny.
The mouth's full, but
I'm always eating during these things. So that's.
Hold on. I'm gonna pause it for a second. All right, sorry, but we're back. We just had a little hiatus. It was a lot of activity up here.
Yeah, right. They're watching us now. They know that they can't use the bees anymore.
Yeah,
we're onto them with the bees. We were just talking about how lately there's been a lot of flu paranoia or like heightened. Sensational sort of like awareness. People are like kind of freaking out about flu. My wife, she works in the medical field, and she's at the hospital. Everyone there is apparently, according to her, everyone there, every other diagnosis is flu or flu-like symptoms. So she comes home and she's all freaking out. Oh my God, we didn't get our flu vaccines yet. And then and see what's funny is she's like I said, she's very like intelligent, she's a well-informed person, very rational, reasonable. She knows that she pays attention to information that she thinks is pertinent, and she knows that the CDC has come out and said like, hey, this year's vaccine is like pretty much ineffective. It's not really going to stop the major flu strain that's been going around these days like crazy, supposedly, right? But they keep saying, but you should get it anyway.
You should get it anyway. I know.
So again, it's like, well, are we thinking about like why should I get it anyway? Because in medicine, the benefits should outweigh the risks. That's when you should take medicine, right? Well, we know that there are risks, even if you're not into the conspiracy theory end of it, or we know that there are risks because of the adjuvant. That's used. The purpose of it is to stimulate an inflammatory immune response,
like
this sort of hyper-stimulation of the response. And then the hope is that it incorporates the inactive parts of the whatever the microbe is, whatever the virus, bacteria. So in this case, the flu virus, the influenza, whatever strain they've picked, that supposedly is inactive by taking off parts of there's like parts of the virus that they've pulled off, that supposedly makes it so then when it can't replicate using retroviral like RNA stuff, so they can't replicate. Okay, anyway, but we know that it has the possibility of leading to a heightened immune response that might lead to potential autoimmune disorders.
Yeah.
At the very least, it makes sense that people feel sick afterward. How they were saying, no, that's a myth.
Yeah.
Why would that be? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
If my immune system suddenly goes like full active, I'm gonna feel sick because that's part of what feeling sick is the symptoms that the symptoms that you feel. Some of them are because of your immune response.
Correct.
So it's just like, I don't know. It's like to me it sounds more like, oh well, just do it anyway because we say so, because someone up top said so, because money, right?
Because of money.
So it's
because of money. Yeah. That's very interesting. Because it's like flu season. Like there's only a certain months out of the year that this is being pushed, but
not for long. How much you want to bet this becomes like an annual, all year long? You need to have something all year long.
Because it seems like it's getting longer and longer, right? The season.
I'd like to look back, maybe see some of the official flu season time frame, what they've used in the past and what it is now in comparison.
I talked to you about it earlier. I feel that there's a lot more car accidents, but we still. You still have to drive. I'm sure there's probably a lot more. You know what? There's probably a lot more.
We do much more dangerous things every day.
Yes.
Than
the flu.
Get the flu.
And there's probably a lot more deaths from actually prescribed medication that
prescribed opioids.
That is actually prescribed to the correct dosage, but there's still deaths from that, but you're still going to take it, so I mean the risk of there either way, but and then you kind of feel like you're forced, you know what I mean?
I think it's like,
I guess especially for
maybe
your wife,
like it seems like cynical maybe, but
for your wife to be in the field and kind of be, for her it's probably they probably push taking the flu, you know what I mean? You're the champion, front line. You gotta.
Yeah. She works frequently in like ICU and long-term care, and these people, they're all really sick, like really sick people, and she wears a lab coat as part of her job, so people respect her authority,
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah, she kind of has to be, like you said, like a leader.
Like the leader of the
and she has to represent a champion of, whatever current medical paradigm, healthcare paradigm that is popular or supported by the Greens. I had something else I wanted to say that I found very interesting. I have a nephew who works in the healthcare field as well.
Uh-huh.
He overheard. I'm sorry, not overheard. He's much lower on like the totem pole, and so he like kind of follows around a doctor a lot, and overheard, like sort of observed and overheard throughout his day to day in the last few weeks, right? That lots of so when a patient, sorry, let me preface this by saying that one of the first things that happens when a patient goes into like the emergency room or something, is they want to get a diagnosis, or at least they want to work up to a diagnosis. So they have sort of a chief complaint.
Yes.
And they have sort of diagnoses, depending on what's wrong, how many, and then they have sort of primary diagnosis and secondary, So they come up with a chief complaint and primary diagnosis, like as best they can for every single patient. What they've been doing a lot of, apparently, according to my nephew, is whether or not the patient actually has flu, they'll record it, chief complaint, flu-like symptoms, primary diagnosis, flu or influenza, and even if they come back with a swab, like a nasal swab or something, that's negative for flu, they'll still say flu or flu-related or flu-like.
Okay, so yeah.
The key word is flu is in the diagnosis, whether or not, even if it's been disproven, even if it's like, what they have is not flu, it's coming back negative, right? And I'm sure someone will say, okay, well, those swabs aren't 100%. Yes, that's true, and you're supposed to do like additional testing and maybe get like cultures or something. But come on, if you get a negative swab, you're gonna still say, why don't you say it's something else?
Yeah.
No, it has
common
to be
cold.
Yeah, it's flu.
Yeah, you can. You can downgrade it, right? I mean, you can be wrong about stuff in medical, right?
Yeah. So why are they using that still? So the way that he worded it, and I didn't sort of probe and question him on it. I just sort of heard him talking to my other family member about it.
Yeah.
But the way that he worded it, this is sort of my interpretation of the way I was just sort of eavesdropping on the conversation.
Yeah.
My interpretation was that he works in an emergency department, so he deals with sort of ED and the way that they flow, like that workflow every day.
Okay.
The way that he worded it was that like the doctors that he's been following around, who it's their job to give a diagnosis, that's part of the job. Like every patient has to have one, right? It's almost like there's an initiative, like they're supposed to use flu somehow in their diagnosis whenever the symptoms are sort of similar, or like if the criteria is close enough, then they'll use flu as the diagnosis. And he made it like the way that the conversation was going, and it sounded like he was sort of implicating that there's an initiative. Maybe they're told from their up and ups, maybe the administration or maybe the chief or something is sort of saying use flu as a diagnosis. And I just found it very interesting. Like I'd like to maybe, I don't know how we can do this in a way that would piss people off, but ask around or find out like how is that happening around. I don't know. That'd be interesting.
That's because these. I don't know. Yeah. Because how do these flu?
Because what I'm thinking about it, right, is that let's say, okay, sure, the shot isn't working. CDC's come out and said only 10% effective, sure. But look at all these cases of flu everywhere. Oh my God, 500,000 crazy cases. All these many deaths from flu. This, that, flu. The words everywhere, right?
Yeah.
If their official diagnoses are flu on their chart, then those numbers get collated, and they can be used to sort of pad the overall rates, the overall stats, so then when they're on the news and they're on the TV and they're saying, oh my gosh, it's the flu, it's crazy, everyone's freaking dying from the flu, it sounds worse when you have a higher number, right, to back that up. So and that's why that really struck me as, that's amazing, because I've got someone in the industry saying, we will say, we will give a diagnosis of flu even if it's not the flu.
Yeah.
We'll do that anyway right now. And that's like, to me, that's highly suggestive of, that, why? What's the incentive of that random ED doctor?
Yeah.
There really isn't much, unless he's being told to do that, right? Like, why would you do that? There's no point. Unless you're being told to. Why would you do that if you're being told to? Well, we know that, like some of the private insurances.
To be safer or something?
Maybe to be safer, sure, but why not just give the real diagnosis?
Yeah,
it doesn't matter
once you find it out.
Physician,
it doesn't.
Like I was thinking,
you can go ahead and downgrade it, right? If it's not, I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Have you heard about how some of the private insurances, like Anthem Blue Cross and somebody else, they were actually they give bonuses, like cash rewards, for physicians like primary care physicians who have a practice of let's say their population is like 1,000 people or something, you know, and they'll give like a reward, cash reward, a bonus to the physicians who get like maybe 80% or over of their patient, you know, of the population vaccinated on with the flu vaccine on their chart, you know, or like, you know, let's say like a pediatrics.
Do these private? You have to ask your nephew. I don't know. I mean,
he would know about that.
He would know.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
more like for the primary care physicians, the ones who, you know,
but are
in
they
the private, you know, like in like private practice, the primary care or in like HMO, they're the ones who are the gatekeepers of all care. You're supposed to see that person for everything, you know. Like he's your primary care. So you like, let's say like you hurt your leg. Yeah. You don't go and see the sports medicine doctor. No, you go to see your primary care first and then they will send you to the sports medicine if they see fit. Okay. You know, so you're supposed to. So the first stop. For like all your medical care should be primary. Your primary. Okay. In those situations, like if you have a certain kinds of thing, like HMO and that kind of stuff, right? So like, I think that's why that's a good place for a company who sells flu shots or sells vaccines to be like, hey, we'll give you a little bonus because like they're gonna have a patient, you know, like a population, whatever amount that they have to see. All these patients have to see this person first, so it almost guarantees that there's an opportunity to give a shot, to like sell a shot to that person, you know. So what they're doing is they're saying, well, if you like same thing for the pediatrics, you know, those doctors, they will be like a primary physician for that kid until they're 18 years old. Mm-hmm. So you know how there's this whole schedule, the vaccine schedule that lasts like you get like 100 shots by the time you're 8 or something ridiculous like that. If the pediatric, you know, physician gets so much of the population, like 80% or something of the population, with the complete vaccination schedule, with, you know, proof as in the chart. Mm-hmm. Which is like a legal document, you know, so they can't chart it if it didn't happen. I mean, if they're ethical, right? Yeah. Then they will get like a bonus. The bonus stuff. Bonus. So so the doctors are incentivized to push the vaccine, regardless, you know, like monetarily, regardless of proof or risks or benefits or, you know, adjuvants or, you know, especially with these kids, these developing kids, if you give them a super if you trigger their immune system to respond in a hyperactive way, you're risking autoimmune disorders in the future. So it's even worse in kids because they're still developing. But you know, the doctors are incentivized to do it, so they're going to keep doing it. Especially when like, the whole world is saying, "Oh, you anti-vaxxers, you're all conspiracy theorists, you're all kooks and quacks, and that's not real medicine, that's pseudoscience, all that bullshit," right? So it's like, of course they're so incentivized that from society, from culture around them, from the big academic system, and money. They're going to get more money if they do. I mean, anyway, that's my rant. Found that to be interesting.
Yeah, it is though. So, because the flu manufacturers, they've already got this big vat that's already.
Oh yeah, they've already produced it all. Of it,
yeah,
right?
it's already produced.
They got to sell it.
Yeah, they have to sell it.
It sits there now. They got all this product. What are you going to do with all this product? It has to go. Well, then you got to have a lot of flu then, right? To make people, oh shit, I got to get a vaccine. And what if this? Okay, what if it's like ineffective? Sure, this year, and flu is everywhere right now. I mean, what if it really is? Even if, like, what if despite the stats being padded, now that we have some evidence that the stats are padded, I know it's just one doctor. If that one doctor's doing it, it's probably happening with other doctors. So how many of those actual, stats are actually flu? That's happening, right? But anyway, so this year the big news is, oh my gosh, flu is so terrible, it's fucking up everyone's lives. Okay, next year, you better believe next year they're going to be all like, oh, you better get that flu shot. Because don't forget last year when everyone freaking died and was sick because your anti-vaxxer conspiracy stupid ass wouldn't get the flu shot. You better get it this year. It's
spreading it, right? Because they're spreading it.
You're fired, or something like that. Like, it'll be different. I think like they might even use this as like think next year it's going to be like a different
mandatory?
response. It's like,
Yeah, that's not going to be good.
Or at least in the minds of the people.
Yeah.
It would just be like even more ridiculous, because everyone thinks you're stupid now if you don't get that, if you don't get the vaccine. Next year, everyone's going to think you're just like really, really stupid, because look at all the people in the news said this, flu. Yeah, it's everywhere.
Yeah, that was a good
I
one.
said that was my rant, but then I kept going.
I know, because we kind of touched base on it earlier.
A gathering of crows. As the crow flies,
is that a murder?
So they say, right?
Yeah. Is that a murder of crows?
A murder of crows.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's no video. Crows are circling above us now. Did this stuff happen before we were up here recording this?
No. Like I'm telling you, like the last few days or maybe a week, so it's just been a lot more activity. I don't know.
We're trendsetters, man.
I think that was a pretty good one today. I think we can.
Let's call it. We're actually going to be back on tonight. Sounds like we're going to have a special guest.
Yeah, well, I think we'll have a guest. We're going to try to line that up for you guys.
We'll see if that works out. Hopefully.
Hopefully it does.
We have some technical stuff to work out, but we want to try to do this a little more often. Like have some other cats come in and speak and share some more other perspectives, and just keep going, keep truth moving, and keep sharing. Anyway,
I agree.
All right. Peace out, urbanamp. Signing off.
All right. This is Niijii. Thanks for listening.